Okay, so we're here because I like Magikey. So I'm going to go over my Magikey list here because I made Plat 1. I was playing this one that's on screen right now when I hit Plat 1, but I have another one that I was using that I think is fine. You'll note we don't believe in hand traps in this deck list. And I think this is probably not the best way to play this deck, but also if you wanted to play a good deck, you don't want to be playing Magikey. It'll get more support later that'll make it better. But I'm just going to go through um, the cards and why they're in there. So we're playing 10 normal monsters. It's ideal with Link Spider. Um, there are a lot of hands where they can be starters. We're playing 3 Trumpeter for that reason exactly. Because drawing it and another normal monster means you have combo. That works. Drawing a normal monster is perfectly fine. You're generally pretty happy with the normal monster in your hand. So basically, because Mech Mortar cares about attributes, that's why we're playing all the attributes. Sometimes if you can put your opponent on max C, you just summon this card, and having one of each attribute means you can send whatever G you want. The answer is send light dark, by the way, just FYI, if you're in that scenario where you have exactly advanced ritual and Mech Mortar in hand. Garrus Glasser. Anyways, so we're playing a Phantom Grissom. It's a 2k vanilla. Angel Trumpeter is a 1900 attack vanilla, but it's a tuner, which is very important. We have Megala Smasher, we have Mech Knight Avram. Basically, these are the biggest vanillas. You do go to combat with these sometimes because it's important to be able to run over specific things in some scenarios. This is Clavkeys. He's part of the Magikey archetypes. We're playing 3 of him. He's searchable, and, you know, he's another normal monster. We love normal monsters. And then our fire is Gunkan Shari, 2000 attack. Despot and Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing are garnets for our combo. Drawing Despot is fine, but not ideal. Drawing Coltwing is very sad, and if you have a Magikey World, you have to put it back into the deck using the second effect, if you're able to. Obviously. We play an Ash because I own an Ash, and it stops Maxi, which we are not going to be able to play through unless we draw Crawl by the Grave otherwise. Here we have Rescue Rabbit. We go into Angel Trumpeter and go combo. If it goes off, if it gets interrupted, you sit there and cry. We play 3 of the Betos Buster. That's because this one is integral for starting combos. It searches the field spell. It searches any Magikey card, so it can search itself. It can search the field spell. It can search Mech Mortar. It can search your normal monster. It can search whatever you need, basically. Generally, you're either getting the field spell if you don't have it, or you're getting this guy. This is a negate. It can negate anything that you have an attribute for engrave. Importantly, when you make it, it has to have been made with 2 different attribute cards. So, you know, wind, water, any 2. Just make sure you don't summon it using only 1 attribute. If you say use Maftia and you have like Coltwing at high level and you just tribute Coltwing, this is no longer a monster negate. But this once a turn can negate any monster effect that is the attribute of a card you control in graveyard. You can, in very fringe scenarios, use it as like a sort of starter, because when it goes to the graveyard, you get to search a Magikey card. That should almost never come up. It has literally never come up for me. And I've used this deck list to more or less get Plat 1. But it does mean you have better follow-up if they start breaking your board and this goes off board. It means you can search almost certainly Betos Buster, but something else is possible. Terraforming, because the field spell's really good. Instant Fusion, because we can summon this. It's a level 4 tuner. You can use it to get an extra synchro at the end of your combo, or you can use it to start your combo because it's a tuner and we can go through our outline. We have 2 Preparation of Rites. If you draw this, it's this. It's either Betos Buster or Betos Buster and an extra copy of ARA, depending, or technically High Ritual, but High Ritual is only once per turn, so that's less good. So basically this allows you, this is just extra copies of Betos Buster and possibly extra copies of Advanced Ritual Art. We have 3 unexpected die, that just summons any normal monster. You're generally going to be summoning Angel Trumpeter, but you can summon other stuff if you don't need the tuner, / you already have an Angel Trumpeter in hand. Usually this is what you start with because you can't activate it if you control a monster, and it's great Ash bait if you have another way to get combo. This is Mafia. We can use this to make our fusions or to ritual summon. If you control a normal monster, this is another reason we like controlling a bunch of normal monsters, you can send 1 normal monster from deck as material. So in the case of Betos Buster, if you control a normal monster, you can literally just foolish a normal monster and then summon it. Just FYI. Fun fact, when you do the ritual summon, it will not show you what the cards are from deck. That's actually a reason I generally like having fire the most, and that's why this card is shiny. So I know I can select the Gunkan Suship if I'm making a Garrus Glasser, so I know what I'm choosing. Please fix it, Konami. Magikey World, it searches a Magikey monster when you activate it. It also protects your non-token normal monsters. I've actually had it where somebody tried to OTK me and they just didn't read this card. And they were playing Trizu, I think. So I lived because when they tried, because the first time they tried to run over the normal monster, it didn't get destroyed by combat. And then I was able to get them on the crackback. Very funny. Second effect is you can search a Magikey Mafia and return a card from your hand to the deck. This is important for putting exactly Cold Wing back in the deck if you draw it. Also, putting Despot 001 is nice since you're gonna be specialing that anyways. We go to Advanced Ritual Art. This lets you ritual summon a monster from your hand, so either Betos Buster or Garrus Glasser. Both of them are good to do. Garrus Glasser is better because usually that's going to be summoned. If you're summoning it, you're summoning it at the very end of your combo, and it makes it easier on what synchros you want to make. If you don't have to use Magikey Mafia to summon Garrus Glasser. High Ritual Art, sometimes you need to search this because you only have normal monsters in hand. That's why you play it. You want to play 1 copy of this. It unbreaks a lot of hands. Piercing the Darkness we play because firstly, it recycles itself in like 90% of starting hands. That's not strictly speaking accurate, but we're literally playing like 16 ways for a normal monster, so it'll just draw you a card. The other thing it does that's important is let you put Herald in attack mode and let your opponent try to attack over it, and then you laugh at them. Because any, if we scroll down here, we can see Fusion, Synchros, or Xyz monsters, and Rituals as well, that use a normal monster. Gains attack equals the opponent's monster's attack if they're attacked it too. Which just means it makes your guys big. You always win combat while this is on field, and like I said, it cycles itself because if you normal or special summon a normal monster, you get to draw a card. I like this. It's fairly cuttable. Like, this is the first card I would cut if you want to put something else in, which would probably be hand traps. And then Called by the Grave, because we can't play through hand traps. Well, we can play through hand traps, but only if our opponent doesn't know what they're doing. If our opponent knows what we're doing, they will simply stop Halki Fibrax with the single hand trap they have, and then we just sit there and cry. Unless we had a weird hand where we have Despot in hand and we have a normal summon, in which case then we can get there. In the extra deck, we're playing 13, 10 points for who can guess why we're playing 13. We play 2 of this because occasionally you want both of them. It's not very frequent. You could cut one of them if you want to put in something else. but we play 2 because sometimes you want it as a starter. Sometimes you can make it at the beginning and the end of the combo. The important thing you need to know is that you grab Maftia back when you make this. The other thing is Instant Fusion is a fusion summon. So if you have Instant Fusion, you can use it at the end of the combo if you've used Maftia and you have it in graveyard to summon Ancilalobulus. We're not even going to try that again. So you can use that to summon this, grab the Maftia from grave, and then have it for like another summon of Betos Buster or something, usually. We play Androbyme. This card is so situational. This is unbelievably cuttable. If you don't have the card, cut the card. It's not... it's not worth it if you don't have it and you don't have a bunch of extra UR dust. But on rare occasions, it is useful to like make this and make Androbyme. And then basically if it's fusions them with 2 different attributes and you destroy a monster, like it can nuke the board for 1 attribute that is the attribute of a Magikey or normal 1 grave, which can come up, and then also once per turn you can get a draw if it was made using 2 attributes, which should generally be the case. We play 2 Herald. This is more good in this version since we're playing Piercing to Darkness, and we can end on this on attack sometimes. Depending on how your hand is, you can make 2 Heralds. Do remember that you will be banishing the rest of your materials, and you will have to make the Herald first because you make the Herald with Despot 001 and a Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon token. Or, I guess more accurately, a Cold Wing token, depending, whatever. So you make the first one because you want to search a Ritual card, and you make the second one because you want to negate on board. We play 7. We're playing this because we make, you frequently can make 2 7s, depending on, like, if your hand's really strong, you'll make like 2 7s and an 8. So, so this is a spell trap negate once per turn. Clear Fast Wing is the other 7, and this negates an extra deck monster and changes its attack to 0. The other ones we can make are an 8 and a 10. So we have Borreload Savage Dragon, and we have Baron de Fleur. Obviously, these are Omni negates. They're very good. For plenty of hands where you can end on 2 negates, these would be the 2 you would choose if you can choose exactly 2. And then, well, assuming you can't make, like, Herald Baron, because Herald Baron's better, just because Herald's going to be able to get you a search when it negates. Then we have Link Spider. Link Spider lets you start with, if you have 2 normal monsters, and then obviously our primary play is going through Crystron, Halqifibrax, into Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon, and doing that whole song and dance. So you make Halq, you summon Despot 001, you turn it into Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Auroradon summons tokens, Despot 001 summons from grave. You make that into a Herald of the Arclight, and then you activate the second effect to tribute 2 monsters. You'll tribute a token and a Herald of the Arclight. Do note that you do get, you need every single slot, so you can't have an extra monster on board for this combo, which makes it really suck, honestly. Because otherwise there would be boards where you'd be able to start with Garrus Glasser on board if, you know, you had more board space, but you just can't. So you, like, can't sit behind negation for this combo, except obviously if you have Called by the Grave. Or a different ability card in hand, like Ash can obviously stop Maxi. So then you'll have the Colt Wing summons. When it summons, it'll summon 2 tokens, and then you'll have 3 tokens, Colt Wing and Despot 001, and then depending on what the rest of your hand is, will depend on what you'll make. But obviously, at minimum, you can make an Omni, even if you literally can't do anything else. If you're making a singular Omni, and you don't have Piercing Darkness on the field, you're probably making Burrow. Borload's easier to make turn 2, so I generally save Borload or turn 3 more accurately. So generally I don't make Borload unless that's the way to get the most negates on board. We have Access Code Talker because in a random number of scenarios, Auroradon and any other card will survive, and we can simply make Access Code on the next turn to just get an easy lethal. And that's the deck list I've been using. So we're going to show the basic combo here. What to do when you're going first. It'd be really funny if I bricked. Okay, perfect. This is fine. So with this hand, we're just gonna go through the basic combo. This is a little less than ideal, but it'll do the trick. So first we start with terraforming. If they have Ash, they Ash here. Activate Magikey World. In this case, we want to have a better normal summon. So we're going to take Clav Keys. We're also going to activate the second effect, and we're going to shuffle back a card we don't want. In this case, we don't need 500 Magikey World. So we just need a tuner and another monster on board. So we make Lynx Fighter. And we special Angel Trumpeter. Then we have Crystron Help online. And with Help, summon no one. This goes into Auroradon. Auroradon's going to summon 3 level 3 tokens, and that's going to trigger 001 in grave. Here, we're going to make Herald of the Arclight. Summon this in defense. And we're using the number 2 effect to summon Coltwing. Coltwing triggers, and you make sure to trigger Art. As funny as it is to forget to trigger it, don't forget to do that. We grab Advanced Ritual Art. There are some hands, like if this is a normal monster, that's why we play High Ritual Art, because then we can summon Betos Buster anyways. And then once Coltwing summons, that triggers 001 again. So with this hand, if you want a more resilient board, you can make Herald, Barone, and have, oh my gosh, I can't think of what that one's called, Garrus Vassar, is it? We can end on that. Or we could end on Barone as well as Savage Dragon. I prefer, even though we banish stuff here, I prefer ending on Arclight. Because if they get through our negates, this at least forces them. So here, because we have Mafia, and we have a normal monster on field, we're going to summon Betos Buster. Wait, did they fix it? Does this work now? Holy cow. Just make sure you're banishing a card you don't care about here. But we don't care about most of the cards. Yeah, just do note with Herald of the Arclight. Another reason Herald is good is for like Drytron and stuff. It'll banish cards, which is which can just be very powerful. So yeah, this would be a board where we'd end on 2 Omni negates. This one's really easy to walk over battle, but it gets you a search, and if they activate, like, can negate like anything with Herald, which is just really nice. I like Sous Ship. I don't need a light, and I don't need water. I think summoning a defense is honestly better, but sometimes you just don't care. The exception, if you have the normal monster card on field, that's always good. We don't activate Barone during standby because we don't want to special summon anything. So this is obviously where we just make access code and then kill them. Usually your opponent's obviously going to do more than set 2, but obviously we're here just to show them how low. And like why play certain cards. So I'd always use Garrus Glasser negate first, because that's just once per turn, there's not a limit on it. Baron de Fleur is amazing, but can only negate once. And Herald tributes itself, so, you know. Let's use that to pop. Go to combat 1. But, that's the basic combo you do. Alright, and for the last thing, I just want to show a replay. This was against Outblitz. It was a weird build. But I like this because it's one of the few times the this fusion came up. So they set 3 pass. Clearly they had a pretty bad hand. So we start combo. We're doing this to summon. Get Betos Fester. We search. So you get Magikey World here. We activate, and we want to do the second one because we don't need Despot in hand. So we're gonna get our second Mafia. Boom. Go through the house line. Now here is why I like this game. I'm not sure why they activated Conk here. The Nibiru makes it make less sense. I'm like so confused. So they Nibiru us. So obviously this board sucks. But the point is here, because we have the Primal Being token, and we had Clavicus in hand, we can use Mafia to send normal from the deck, and we're able to make I'm still not going to try to say it. We can make the beast, and then when you summon it, it gets Mafia back from grave. We changed that to defense because I think it's funny. That doesn't actually do anything. And then you need a Magikey effect monster to make this, and we use 2 different elements, as you can see. Wind and dark. So that means we can target a normal or Magikey monster in graveyard and destroy all with that type. We have a light, and this lets us destroy that and draw a card. Obviously this import sucks because this import is like nothing. But we've cleared their board to him. So here we're making Link Spider because we have Angel Trumpeter and Rescue Rabbit in hand, and our goal is to make a Borlo Savage Dragon to negate their stuff. You can see they respond once we make Link Spider. I think they thought we were going to do different Link climbing things, so they're going to conk. So here they have 2 bad decisions. They can either conk the Dragon, because that's going to clear their board and draw me a card, or they can conk Link Spider, which will cause me to have further plays. They end up as we can see here, they will choose Androbrine. So you're able to summon this. We activate this effect because it just gives us more material on board. We lose Clavicus, obviously, at the end of turn, but there's, you know, not a huge reason to not do this. So we get a run over, hit in, he gets destroyed at end of turn, and they surrender. So yeah, that's a showing of the deck. I had a good win streak at the end, but I wouldn't expect this. This deck isn't super powerful, but this is, I did play this from Gold to Plat 1, and I had fun with it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye.